was the summer of last year, being 2016, that I was scrolling through my Facebook feed and I came across a news article that caught my attention because it involved two students from my area, two children from my area who had been in a boating accident. So I clicked on the article out of curiosity, and as usual with the first article with any accident, they don't give you anybody's names. So I was left a little bit confused as to who it was. It turns out it was a friend of mine and a fellow student who was in one of my classes that previous semester. My last semester at Holland Christian High School, and it was one of the kids who had been in a class of mine. My friend actually survived the accident. The student who was in my class did not. So I went to his funeral over the summer with a friend of mine from work, and that is where I got this blue wristband here that says, "Love you, Riley H," because Riley was the name of the student who passed away in a boating accident. 3 months later, it's September. I'm at school here, my freshman year, my first semester, and I see on the news that one of my teachers had been killed in a car accident involving a overly long telephone pole in the back of a truck. And so it was 3 months after learning that one of my fellow students had been killed, I learned that one of my teachers had as well. And that was a particularly hard moment for me because I knew this teacher well, and he was a good person. I liked him a lot. He was one of my favorite teachers. And so when I learned that this had happened, I went for a walk around campus. I called my parents to make sure that they knew and just kind of talk it through with them. So we talked for a while, and I almost left campus to go to the funeral back home, but I didn't end up doing that because I just had a bunch of stuff going on, and I had asked the 3 of my fellow graduates who also go here if they wanted to come with me, and none of them were interested in leaving. So I stayed as well. I live streamed the funeral. I left my Core 150 class. I skipped it that day to go and see that online. And I would say that overall, this has just taught me that no matter how old you are, no matter what you do, you don't know how long you have. And life is a very precious thing to everyone. You don't know who you will affect. You don't know how many people would be affected by you. You just don't know until it's too late. Today, I look at people differently because I know when I go home for the summer, if I made a friend here, I could never see that friend again. So I look at people a lot differently now. I act differently now. I try and be more of a friendly person than I was because maybe nobody will ever see me again. I don't know. I can't tell the future. Nobody can. So I try and live my life a little bit differently to take that into account. And I try and look at other people differently, knowing this in my head. It has changed my relationship with God because death of anybody brings people closer to God, because you realize that you don't see this person anymore, but God is, and this person is in a better place now. And so it works as a comfort, but at the same time, this person is also gone to you. So it's kind of a bittersweet thing, I would imagine, but it has brought me closer to God, overall. God's plan, God's unexpected plan, God's alternative ending.